The FBI missed searching this. Check Ivana's casket. That's so funny. The liberals are fucking losing their minds over this, obviously, for obvious reasons, because this is like a mind-melting situation.
Very significant.
But this is obviously a mind-melting situation. But I do think that it's like extra funny that they're like going buck wild, saying that like they should desecrate the corpse of like Ivana Trump. You know what? Let's go live. Fuck it. Let's see what the fuck CNN has to say live. You know what I mean? Because I do want to see what CNN is reporting live right now. And then I want to see what
this man is the former president of the United States. Donald Trump may not think that there was any, but you can tell from what they did that there was a great deal of deference given to him because
I'll be back in a second.
Who he was.
Caroline Felici, we've talked about these three statutes, the criminal statutes, also the Presidential Records Act, any presidential records created during the term. I assume you too have a copy of this. What stands out to you?
Yeah, this is just more confirmation that this goes far beyond a mere violation of the Presidential Records Act, which really is a toothless act in and of itself. It doesn't have an enforcement mechanism. These are heavy-hitting criminal statutes, espionage, obstruction of justice, as was noted. The maximum prison sentence for just one of these crimes is 20 years in prison. So this is a very big deal, and just more confirmation of what, we knew all along, which is that, Merrick Garland wouldn't have taken this, by all accounts, extraordinary step if it weren't absolutely necessary for the protection, of the country.
An update here. Sarah Murray obtained this from a source at the top, near the top of the hour. We now know that the judge has unsealed the document, and we'll be able to share more of it with you. Again, the judge has unsealed the warrant and the receipt for property after the search of the former president's home. Ellie Honig, you've got a new development here.
A small point and a big point.
Yes.
So here's the small point. If people are looking at this, and it's now available on the internet, and wondering, why would the FBI be so general? Why would we just see box labeled A35? Why wouldn't they give us more detail? Because this is an on-the-spot document. It's the receipt that the FBI hands over to the person who's just been searched. And we have confirmation of that because we see that it was signed the way you would sign an invoice by Christina Bobb, the lawyer for Donald Trump, 6:19 p.m. on August 8th, the day of the search. That's before we even knew about the search. So that's the nature of these documents. Nobody should conclude the FBI or DOJ was trying to hide something. These are on-the-spot receipts.
That's an important point because if you are there and you are just kind of writing down, and I've been in places, I remember I was at the San Bernardino shooter's home, and they took some items and left the receipt on the table. And it was very handwritten, general of what was there. This is what is produced on site before they pack up and go.
Exactly. When you're talking about documents, you can't possibly delineate all the documents. If you seize tangible items in a drug case, guns, you say however many kilos, however many guns. That's easy. But in a document case like this, really the best you can do is box of documents. So nobody's trying to hide the ball here. The bigger picture point to what you and Evan were saying, not only is this a search warrant of the former president of the United States, the crimes that are not even quite alleged, that's not even really the way to put it, but the crimes that Justice Department prosecutors went to a judge and made a showing of probable cause here. That's significant. That's not what you need to charge, but that's significant. Espionage, destruction of documents, and obstruction of justice. I mean, if you do step back, that is a remarkable moment.
Is Ambassador Norm Eisen with us as well, ethics czar in the Obama administration? Is the case that they have to prove as simple as these documents were classified, they were at Mar-a-Lago, there is the violation? How far or how difficult is it to prove that the former president is guilty of these statutes?
Well, 3 points, Victor. Technically, each of these three crimes, as to which probable cause has been found by a court, has a set of elements. And technically, yes, it's as simple as that. But it's never really as simple as that when you're going against a former president. They're going to have to show serious offenses. And that's why the volume of what we have here, these approximately 20 boxes, these 11 sets, the top secret SCI, our nation's most sensitive information that is the most dangerous for our national security, and the pattern that we've heard about of the Justice Department trying to get them.
Chat, I know Salman Rushdie got fucking stabbed, okay? I know. We're going to cover it. Shut the fuck up.
On that 1519,
I feel like there's some
potential
more, important things that are happening. Not that that's unimportant, but
of documents potentially. So it may not just be the case that we have. We know there's been reporting about a potential informant. This may not just be a case about what they got, which is bad enough. A potential knife strike against the heart of our national.
Salty, you didn't get to claim the fatwa? Yeah, I'm so mad. First of all, I'm fucking Sunni, motherfucker. What do you mean?
Burger. So this pattern of charges, we laid out an in-depth analysis this week at Just Security of what the crimes, as to which probable cause
I'm not
only
Shia.
have been found. Important to remember what they might be. Very important details that are emerging as we speak.
Let's go back now to Sarah Murray. Item one, as I mentioned before, this executive grant of clemency for Roger Stone. I understand Roger Stone now has something he wants to share.
Yeah, first item listed there, a spokesperson for Roger Stone is saying this. Mr. Stone has no knowledge as to the facts surrounding his clemency documents appearing on the inventory of items seized from former President Trump's home at Mar-a-Lago. And, we should remind people that Roger Stone was convicted of lying to Congress some years ago. Donald Trump granted him clemency when he was leaving the White House. So we don't know if that's what this is, that past grant of clemency, if this is, another new document that perhaps never came to light. We just don't know exactly what this line item is referring to. But obviously, Roger Stone, through his spokesperson, is saying, hey, don't look at me. I don't know what this is about either.
Carolyn Polisi, we just heard from Ambassador Eisen. This 1519 speaks to the potential destruction of documents. If that is what is alleged, would we find that in the affidavit and necessarily not here, if that's specifically why that's relevant?
Definitely not going to find it in what is going to be unsealed today. Potentially, you might have hints about it in the affidavit, which again could be a very lengthy document, which we will not see unless there is an indictment at some point in the future, laying out all of the investigative steps that the DOJ and FBI took prior to submitting the warrant for sign off by a magistrate in order to get to the probable cause standard, in order to search Mar-a-Lago. Now, obviously, if we're talking about destruction of documents, one needs to have known that those documents existed.
Guys, I'm not gonna fucking read through the search warrant, okay? If that's what you think we're gonna do for fun, you're out of your mind, okay? We're not doing that. Bait title? No, bro. What do you mean bait title? Okay, I want to see fake leftists because y'all are boring, okay? Y'all are fucking boring and you don't understand content, okay? Stop. We're going to do the Ohio man who attacked the FBI building in a second. Let's see.
Significant reporting by the Washington Post. This is what it says, quote, classified documents relating to nuclear weapons were among the items FBI agents sought in a search of former President Trump's Florida residence on Monday. That's according to people familiar with the investigation. Now, this could elevate the concern over these documents in an enormous way. Joining us now is Washington Post intelligence and national security reporter Shane Harris. He's part of the team that broke this story. Shane, thank you so much for being with us. Just explain more what you and your team found here.
Well, what we understand is that among these classified documents that the FBI was searching for is documents related to nuclear weapons. Now, we're very clear in the story. We do not know whether that relates to U.S. nuclear weapons, the U.S. nuclear weapons arsenal or research, or information about the nuclear weapons of other countries. But what we do understand is that this information, which would in any instance be among the most tightly guarded secrets in the U.S. government, appears to have caused sufficient concern that it helped motivate this extraordinary search at the former president's.
Now, this is still speculation, which is why I said Trump stole nuke details, question mark. This part has not been covered yet because obviously top secret details within those documents, regardless of the warrant being released, is not going to be mentioned. They just have classified it as top secret details. Here are the seized documents. You can see them right here. Okay. Here's the receipt of the property that they retrieved from the house, Mar-a-Lago, Trump's house, also known as the White House of the South. Okay. One of the funniest parts is the executive grant of clemency regarding Roger Jason Stone Jr. But like, you're not going to know exactly what's in it, which is why this part is still speculation.
It's home. And I think what this underscores is the degree to which law enforcement officials and others in the government were deeply concerned about the sensitive nature of the information that Donald Trump had at his personal residence. And we should also emphasize there is no plausible reason that experts can point to why a former president would need to have classified information of that significance at his home.
Yeah, it should be tightly guarded. But what you and your team reporting this out, Shane, reveal is also it wasn't tightly guarded at the White House either.
That's right. We've talked to former officials who served at senior levels in the intelligence community in the Trump administration, who said that it was routine that highly classified information was passed around and handled by people who did not have a need to possess it or to read it. People who did not have the appropriate security clearances, people who didn't have a need to know. That among this information, one former intelligence official told us that they routinely saw was signals intelligence. We're talking about things like intercepted communications, potentially of foreign leaders. That too is some of the most closely protected, guarded information. And the idea that it was flowing around freely among officials who didn't need to have it or didn't have the proper access to it starts to fill out a picture of just the kind of the sloppiness that many former officials say they saw in the Trump administration when it came to handling close protected secrets.
So Shane, one question that is being asked this morning, if the FBI believed or were seeking classified documents related to nuclear weapons at Mar-a-Lago, as you say, that would be so serious. The existence of those documents would be so serious. What took so long? When did they find out about these documents? Was it, when they knew about the 15 boxes months and months ago? Was it when they subpoenaed records? Why the search warrant?
Yeah, that's a great question. We still don't know precisely when they learned this. But if you look at the sequence of events of how this unfolded, we know that there was a subpoena that was issued to President Trump back in June, which is essentially a request from the government that, saying, we think you have information, we need you to hand it back to us. It's a command of sorts, but it's asking nicely, if you want to think about it that way. It appears that this situation escalated, however, when President Trump, for, again, reasons we don't fully understand, did not return the information that the government made clear to him he needed to return. And so I think that also elevated the concern among law enforcement agents. Why is he not giving back the information that we think he had?
Dude, that's the funniest part. All of this could have been avoided if Donald Trump simply just said, oh, here are the documents, my bad. Okay? Like, none of this would be happening right now, which would be, of course, ironic because, we would have less content. So thank you, Donald Trump, for that content. But like, all of this could have been avoided like the top of the hour ad break. Okay? Because at the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, you can avoid those ads by subscribing. That's how you get an uninterrupted ad-free broadcasting experience. By subscribing for $5 or for free with Twitch Prime, by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get one free Prime subscription a month. Or you can get gifted a sub. El Bobby Chulo, thank you for the 10 gifted subs, allowing 10 people to no longer see the ads. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Suck a dick. My man used up his points to highlight suck a dick. Gaucho Marks, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Joe Biden's bike pedal, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Oh, that was his first message? Blue is a highlight? Oh, damn. Spider from Mars, thank you for the 5 the subs. Anyway, let's continue.
That we're telling him he needs
Official
to get back
Magnus,
to
thank you
us.
for the 5 the subs.
That in any event would cause significant concern if someone who had classified information in their possession was refusing to hand it back.
Thank you for the 5 the subs.
The political and the legal implications of that, we're seeing them play out right now, and we can see how
Chat, I know what the age demographics look like in here. You are not allowed to be behaving like this right now. The way you're behaving right now, all of you writing suck a dick in the chat, highlighting it. I know all you motherfuckers are white weebs that are over the age of 30. You do not get to behave like little fucking Zoomers in here, okay? You are all 30 plus white male weebs, okay? It is wild that you are behaving this way. It is wild that you are behaving this way when I know your fucking age group, okay?
extraordinarily that would complicate the situation.
Shane Harris, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Significant reporting that reframes, I think, how a lot of people are looking at the events over the last week. Thank you.
Joining us now is former federal prosecutor Daniel Goldman. He is now running for Congress in New York. Deputy editor of The City, Alyssa Katz. CNN presidential historian Tim Naftali. And CNN senior national correspondent Sarah Seidner. Look,
oh my God, my man's ears, bro. He got the Marco Rubio's on him, dude. He got the fucking Marco Rubio ears on him. God damn.
Much has happened in the last 24 hours. It's where to start, right? There's just a bounty of new information. But let's start with what we are expecting to learn. Maybe at 3 p.m., which is going to be the search warrant and the receipt, perhaps, about what was taken from Mar-a-Lago. Are you expecting that we will indeed learn that?
I have my serious doubts. As you will recall, Donald Trump said throughout the Mueller investigation, oh, I have no problem talking to them. I'm happy to talk to them. And then it became, oh, no, my lawyers told me I can't. So the fact that he has said release the documents means very little to me at this point. Let's see at 3 p.m. when their deadline is whether or not they are actually going to agree. But the Attorney General has put him in a real pickle here because either he releases the documents and we learn what statutes they are investigating, and we learn broadly, categorically, what they took. Now, some of that will be redacted because it's probably classified information, but we will certainly learn the statutes, and that will tell a lot about what they are investigating. I'm very eager to see that. If they decide to oppose this motion to unseal, then clearly they're trying to hide something. And it completely undermines his argument that this is just.
Well, this part already happened, right? Like, so we already know we're in the future now. But there is good stuff to look at with respect to the reason why I wanted to look at that coverage was because the Washington Post reporter actually had further information, whereas now they're just like speculating on the things that already came out, right?